Well, hi there guys, Butcher here again. I just thought I'd do a little quick show and tell about how my workshop is coming on, and a quick thing about a couple of the little tests I'm going to be running and also putting onto YouTube. I've got to hope this is working okay. I've just nicked my son's GoPro. He bought the GoPro for when we're going out and about and outdoors, and but he's bought the wide angle lens. I've no idea how that's going to look, because I know pretty much rock all about cameras and all the rest of it, and as I've said in others, I'm just having to learn how to do all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I just thought, well, give this a bit of a go, see how this camera goes. He's also going to teach me how to put little clips together, so I've got little clips of things I've done while I've been out and about, and I've got to learn how to put those together before I can actually load them up, or upload them, I think. So anyway, I'll crack on with here, and what I'm going to try and do as well is I have some photographs of how things were here for 8 months ago, before I actually decided to go down the path of knife making for a little bit more seriously, to see how good I could get. So I'm going to try and learn how to upload those. I'll put those into the video, hopefully at the end of this little ramble, and then obviously then it will tie in nicely with the sort of like things I'm going to show you now. So I'll start off with pretty much where I'm sat, which is my little workspace, and down here. So what we have here is my main little workstation. As you can see, I've just got myself a little oven, got it in the sails, but that's for really the only thing that's used for is for hardening knife handles when I'm doing a bit of stabilising, which is my stabilising equipment there. And as you can see, I haven't got it sorted yet. So the oven is brand new, the stabilising equipment is brand new. I've just managed to source the pipes, the valves, gauges, and everything else that I need to see if that works. So hopefully everything will be okay, and I don't get any catastrophic failures with the heavy glass jar like some people say they do. And I hope not, because to be honest, at this moment in time I can't afford the fancy professional pre-made gear that some of the guys are using. Just a couple of things that I'm working. I've got a little set of knives here that I'm doing for some friends of mine actually, who have just recently had a bucket trip. And as I said about the tests, what I've got here is some knives. These were originally my original go at this, and I wasn't keen on them. So what I've actually done is I've basically ground the blanks out, and then I've run some different things, but I'll talk through that when I actually go through the tests of these, and I'll show you that on the another video. Hand rubbing station and other bits and pieces of work which I can move around as needed. And then coming around this side, as you can see here now, I've actually built myself a proper workbench in. My pillar drill, nothing super elaborate or super fancy, but it certainly works. It does the job, gives me nice straight holes, and as long as I use it appropriately, set the right speeds, things like that, works quite well. My original sander, used predominantly now for a bit of first stage of flattening handle scales is what I'm using this for. Possibly also the curves, gives me a few extra curves to work on, and then obviously working on the angles for the front angles and the bevels of the handles. That lets me the side flat sanding disc lets me sort those things out. My old bench grinder, this is about 20 odd years old, so it's holding up pretty well. Luckily I've never done a huge amount of work, so it's not like it's truly been hammered, but it's held up really, really well. My little one at the back, a little gift off my dad, but I took the grind off, and I've just fitted this out with some polishing wheels. So I've yet to use that, but see how that goes very, very shortly. Then over here I've got my little vise, little swivel vise. Still got to bolt this down. I haven't got around to bolting it down. I tend to move it around and use it so much. When I'm doing cutting steel up and things, if I'm using the angle grinder, it tends to get moved outside on the old, good old workmate. So I need to sort of like work out a way where I can fasten it down, but then move it around, because I can't afford to buy another one at the moment. My most recent purchase, my LB grinder. This has been my second biggest investment. This is really new. I've only had this now a matter of a month. So it's done a fair bit of work already. I've already got a few belts I'm working through and using and things like that. Just doing things like practicing the bevels, you know, getting straight lines, straight grinds. But it's really just made a massive difference on what I'm being able to turn out. And here we have my wee kiln, Woodrow kiln. That's my biggest piece of investment. I've had this now about 3 months. When I get around to you know, straightening myself out and paying up some of this stuff off, I think then it'll be. I'm still got a couple of items I want to buy, which you know, will hopefully again make things not only easier but better. So we'll see how that sort of goes. And under the benches here, I've got a very kind neighbour. Gave me a couple of, well, he gave me a big cupboard unit built, solid wood. God, this fisheye is amazing. And so I've been able to, you know, sort my things out, put things into particular trays. It's a lot easier to get hold of, a lot easier to divide things up. I've kept things neat and tidy. I don't have a lot of space on the walls and things, simply because I've got a lot of other things hung up, as you can see. So that's coming really handy. And down here, my latest product I've finished is my wood cabinet. So I've got a little space heater in there, insulated it all out, fit the drawers in, and I've got all my knife handle woods in there. A lot of well, they're all native, I think, predominantly. 1 or 2 none, but basically a lot of native timbers. Pohutakawas, Puriri, Black Mary, Pukatea, Kauri, Matai, Rimu. So it's the bulk of things that I'm doing. This is obviously helping me to keep them really, really dry. A lot of these probably won't be getting stabilised, simply because, like the Kuri, Pohutakawa, Puriri, and possibly the Matai already have quite a lot of resin in them. They're quite heavy woods. Probably wouldn't take stabilising too well. However, the Rimu, Pukatea, I believe, you know, and I'm not too sure about the Kauri. I'm going to have to try them and see how they go. But they're in there drying now, to get them as dry as I can before I bob them in the. But I bob those in my little oven, so they'll go in the little oven here, and then get a final drying before I look at stabilising them. So guys, that's pretty much my little setup as I'm able to do now. Made a lot of difference. Like I say, the next little bit I'm going to put together is these blades. On that one, I won't drag this out too long, because on that one I'll explain what I've done and why I'm doing it and why I'm testing them. And then hopefully, you know, when I get through some of this testing and get my things together, then apart from just practicing doing things, I'll be able to actually start finishing some knives off and showing you where I'm at, and also with my leather work. Although that's just hit a bit of a blip, but all the learning curve. So anyway, for now, this is Bushy signing off. So I hope you've had an absolutely great day, and plenty of plans for next weekend. Getting out there and doing it. Awesome.